Only me. Okay guys, let's get straight into it. Last week we touched on Bounce Dribble, the how and the why. How we do it from the ground, off the car, and why do we use it to set up an array of options whilst having vision. And in this video, we're going to touch on when to use it with the move, the Air Dribble. As we focused on bouncing the ball forward, it is a good idea to transition to the Air Dribble, as in my opinion, this is the easiest setup for the Air Dribble. Anytime you have a mid to high bouncing ball, when bouncing the ball forward, an Air Dribble is probably the strongest option. If the opponent is giving you space and you can see them with the forward bouncing dribble, then I would recommend an Air Dribble. However, if you have a forward bouncing mid-high ball and the defender is in no man's land, which means they are not far enough back to make a defensive play and not further enough forward to make a challenge, then an ideal option there would be to shoot the ball over the top. A top tip here, never bounce the ball forward from the middle of your defensive area if you cannot see your opponent, as if they dive into it, then it could go straight into your net. This is true in the defensive zone and actually in the offensive zone. If you bounce the ball in front of the opponent's net and they challenge, you're probably going to be screwed. So always do it off to the side to create an angle of safety, to give yourself time to get back. And this will be covered more in theory in the future, but just going to bring you up to date as we go. So if you're in a situation where the ball has bounced in front of your net, instead of following it up, kill the ball and push it laterally to prevent any dunks. And for those who do not know what a dunk is, it's when a player challenges the ball or hits the ball after you have hit the ball and puts it past you, aka dunking the ball past you. Okay, so we know when to do it. Anytime we are behind the ball, bouncing it towards the opponent's net. However, if we cannot see the opponent or opponents, then we take it to the side and maybe look to cut into the ball to start a bounce dribble, or go to our other options. You know, you got the pink belt now, you got the green belt now. We have got options. Don't be scared to use them. You know you can do them. However, if it is bouncing in the middle and we can see our opponent and we have got space, then we can set it up from the center line. So let's look at the how. This is identical to the previous Air Dribble method with the carry. Only in my opinion, this is actually a much easier setup and easier to get good at. Bounce the ball forward, then time it so on the upward bounce you touch the ball and then double jump for extra height, lean back and start boosting, aiming to hit the ball in the bottom quarter again. Continue to feather the boost to keep the ball moving in the position you want. If you want more height, try and get lower on the ball, and if you want more forward momentum, try and get higher on the ball. And this will come with practice. I want to give you a top tip. I am now going to give you the only fully unsavable shot in Rocket League. If you master this shot, you will be having a laugh because it is an unstoppable force on offense. The reason the Air Dribble works so well is because you are putting the ball into an area that the defender has to get up in order to make the save. So therefore you can come in front of the ball and almost shadow the ball into the opponent's net. In doing so, if the defender goes up to make the save, you will hit them out of the way. Okay, one last thing before the training pack. Sometimes the ball will be bouncing really low and you might want to pop it up. You got space, but you really want to set up an Air Dribble. What you can do in this situation is get under the ball as it's bouncing, and as it comes on the upward bounce, literally just do a single jump just to pop it a little bit higher to give yourself some momentum. Remember though, this should be done when you have space. Okay, let's get on to the training pack. Just gonna copy that and paste it into the top corner. First one, literally, just a simple bounce and we're timing it so that we can get under the ball in that special area and push it in. So here now we're doing it from the other boost pad. We got a bit of an angle now, but the same thing. If we want it to go more forward, we get more behind the ball. If we want to lift it, we get more under the ball. Now we got a tight angle, but it's exactly the same thing. This is brilliant for learning how to hit Air Dribbles. Because nothing changes, whether it's from here, whether it's from the wall, whether it's from the carry, we still have to hit the same part of the ball to achieve the same effects. Let it bounce, get underneath it, lift it in. And this will take a while to get used to that touch, get used to when to time the bounce, but once you get it down, you're gonna love it. A little bit further out now, so we need to get a little bit more under the ball to carry it more. That's what you got to think. You have to get more under it if you want to take it further usually. You can see how I get lower on the hitbox of the ball now. I'm getting right near the bottom. Whereas before I was getting more sort of in the middle. Now I'm trying to get it a little bit lower to give it a little bit more carry. Here we go. Now we're going really far out. So this is a really good test now. And you notice I'm not just holding the boost down, I'm feathering it. And what that means is tapping it, essentially. You'll see now, look. Tap it, tap again, tap again. See all the little bits of boost that have disjoined? And that's because I'm tapping it. Here's another one slightly further out. If you can as well, that's a little bit of a skill there. If you can move the ball in the air by turning your car, you'll be able to put it into different areas that are hard to save. With this one, take a dribble. So it's important. We've got to get used to bounce dribbling. So we could take a little bounce dribble. And then maybe we'll go for it. We've got 100 boost. Why not? Defenders backed off, let's say. Let's do it. But you can, if you're a nutcase, you can just try a full map air dribble with this one. If you just want to work on the mechanics. It's not part of the pack. You don't have to do that. It's actually preferred to do the bounce dribble forward. But if you do want to learn a little bit about air dribbling, you can just go for the full length air dribble with it. And now we've got a further back one. So yeah, let's get a few bounce dribbles, 2 this time. Take it into that spot. And again, we're just getting underneath the ball and lifting it towards the top of the net. Take 2 bounce dribbles. See how I'm timing the bounce dribbles? Getting it as it comes up, get underneath the ball, push it to the top. Of course, again, if you are a little bit crazy, you can do a full map air dribble just for fun. But you don't need to do that to get the blue belt. I'm just showing you what you can do. If you want to, again, learn the mechanics of the air dribble, you can just go for an air dribble across the map there. Because this one dribble, and then up we go. We're starting to learn about taking it from angles now. And this is good because you can usually see your defender. Up we go. You notice how sometimes I don't get an amazing first touch, but I'm able to get back underneath it. That is part of it. Oh my god, look at this. It's a lateral dribble. Are we going to go for a hook shot? No, we didn't go for a carry either. We've blasted that one. We're going for the bounce dribble into the air dribble. And now we're starting to understand this system of lateral pushing. Look how all of a sudden I've got so many options. I could have done 3 different systems there. Again, lateral dribble, hook shot, no, carry, no, bounce dribble instead. What we're going to do off the bounce dribble? Oh, air dribble, okay, cool. Options. That is what we've got with this system. Under the ball, lifting it up. Let's make another game-specific one. Look at that. You don't have to always do a lateral dribble to get underneath it. You can smack it off the wall if you've got momentum. If the ball's coming towards you or it's at a standstill, if you just boost into it, it will bounce off the wall. Now, don't get confused. If you start pushing that ball away, you probably won't be able to do the same thing. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Into the wall again to get it bouncing, but it wasn't high enough, so I do a single jump. Remember I taught you that? Now I use the single jump to get the ball higher, and then I can follow it exactly like we talked about. Alright guys, have a go with that. This will really help your understanding of what to do once you get that bounce dribble going. Especially when you're heading on straight onto the player and you've got space. The air dribble is so good, and in my opinion, if you can, get the air dribble bump in practice, because that will get you so many easy nets. As always guys, have fun. Thank you very much for watching, and peace out. Peace.